Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about conference championship week, starting Friday through Saturday. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matchups here to predict. I'm going to recap the preview and predict here the other conference championships. I'm obviously going to do the big games like Big 12, ACC, Big 10, ACC. But I want to do the other games too, show some love there, and not just forget about those teams. The other teams like Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State, Army, Tulane. Not forget about those other teams. And besides, this is conference championship week. Might as well predict all the games. So this is technically week 15 conference championship week edition of my picks. So let's go start with Friday here. We have 3 conference championship games. This one's on Sunday, Friday at 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. Western Kentucky versus Jacksonville State. These two teams actually played last week. Now they're playing the conference championship. It's hard to beat a team twice in a row back to back. I think Western Kentucky won their matchup against Jacksonville State last week. It's hard to beat a team twice though. I mean, these two teams are good teams. It's hard to beat a team twice in a row, especially in the span of a few days. So, I'm going to go with Jacksonville State to win their conference championship over Western Kentucky. I want to see Western Kentucky win because I want at least one Kentucky team to do well in football, but it's just hard to beat a team twice back to back, and I'll take Jacksonville State. That game could have went either way, so I'm going to take Jacksonville State. Now, here's the first big conference championship to keep an eye out on. Number 20 UNLV versus number 10 Boise State in the AP poll. These are just off AP poll rankings, I think. Boise State and UNLV played a few weeks ago. Boise State beat them by only one touchdown. It was a back and forth game. Really interested to see how Ashton Jeanty does. I haven't recapped the Boise State game this year. I'm really excited to see Ashton Jeanty, how he performs. UNLV's an underrated team. They got a good quarterback in Hajj Malik Williams, an NFL type receiver, and Ricky White III. Those are guys Boise State's going to have to slow down. And they're going to have to get Maddox Madsen get back going. He really struggled last week against... Who was it? I really played last week, but he really struggled. They just need to get the ball to Ashton Jeanty. The quarterback is... Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's just bad. He's an inconsistent quarterback. Just the reason they're this good is because Ashton Jeanty is really the reason. UNLV, I think they're going to come up short. I think Boise State will win their conference championship. I think they should make the playoffs, win or lose, but they really need to win to assure they're in the playoffs. So, I'm going to trust Ashton Jeanty and that Boise State defense to lock in. It's going to be tough to hold this offense because they got really good talent on offense, but their defense is questionable, and I think Boise State can run all over them. So, give me Boise State here. This game is on Fox at 8 p.m. And then our third game on Friday for the night is Tulane at Army. Tulane obviously lost to Memphis. Army won their game, so Army hosts the conference championship here on ABC at 8 p.m. versus number 24 Army. I'm going to go with Tulane. I think they're going to be a bit pissed off that they lost to Memphis last week at home. And I don't know, Tulane's just better than Army to me. I know Tulane had a rough game last week. The turnovers didn't help. And I think John Summerall and Tulane will be motivated to win their conference championship. They're not going to get in the playoffs or anything, but hey, you can get a conference championship. That would be a successful season for John Summerall and the Tulane Green Wave. Army's done really good this year. Obviously, mostly run first offense. If Tulane can slow that down, I think they'll win this game because if you can slow down that run, Army really doesn't threaten that much. But if they can't stop the run, They can lose this game, and if they turn the ball over like they did last week. But I'll take Tulane. Here, Saturday, we have 5. No, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What is happening? Oh my god. What's happening to my app here? Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, excuse me. 6 conference championship games. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start with the Big 12 championship. Iowa State versus Arizona State on ABC at 12 p.m. I'm going to take Arizona State. They've been the best team of the Big 12. They're the best team of the Big 12 right now. They've got hot the last bit of this season. Who would have expected Arizona State? New coach, Kenny Dillingham. Even at the point of the season calling for kicker tryouts. Who would have thought this team would be in contention to make the playoffs? First year, Kenny Dillingham. I think it's first year, I don't know. But Arizona State, Sam Leavitt, Cam Skidaboo, as I call him, Cam Skibbity. There is one concern. They're going to be missing Jordan Tyson, their star wide receiver, due to injury. I think he's out for the rest of the season. So that's a tough loss, but I really think they can still win this game. They've got hot at the right time. They've been the best team in the Big 12 in the past few weeks. If they win, they're in the playoffs, so I just don't see Iowa State. They're just, they're all right. I mean, they lost to Texas Tech. They've lost to, who else they've lost to? But I just don't think they're as good as Arizona State. Ohio at Miami of Ohio. I'm going to take the Ohio Bobcats to win their conference championship here. This game's on ESPN. Then this game, number 5 Georgia versus number 2 Texas on ABC at 4 o'clock. This is going to be an interesting one. A rematch from earlier this season where Georgia beat Texas in Austin. Now they're playing in basically a home game. I want to take Texas because I think Georgia's beat them. Texas just didn't bring their A game when they played them. The first time. Georgia dominated both lines of scrimmage. Texas had a few fumbles. They couldn't protect the quarterback. They couldn't really run the football. But Georgia Tech proved last week you can run the football in this Georgia defense. You can run the football. And they've gained some really good momentum these last few weeks. Run the football. Their offensive line's getting better push at the line of scrimmage. Contravian Weisner's been running the football great. Quinn Ewers just can't make those mistakes. Throwing a pick six in the red zone. Fumbling in the red zone. You can't make those type of mistakes against Georgia. Same goes for Carson Beck. You can't make mistakes. You can't fumble or throw any interceptions because this is a tough Texas defense. And Georgia's defense isn't as good as it's been the last few years. Texas's defense is really good. I'm going to go with Texas. I was thinking about Georgia, but I'm going to go with Texas. I just kind of like how Texas has been playing much better lately, just running the football, and how their defense has been. So I'm going to go with Texas. Marshall against, who the hell's Marshall playing? Who are they playing? Louisiana Raging Cajuns. I guess I'll go with Marshall here. The Big 10 Championship. Number 3 Penn State at number 1 Oregon. I'm going to go with Oregon here. Penn State, man, I can't trust James Franklin and his team to win a big game. I just can't pick them until they prove me otherwise. Oregon's the best team in the nation this year. They've dominated most of their games besides the Wisconsin game and the Boise State, and some games early in the season, and that one hiccup against Wisconsin where they struggled. Other than that, they've been really good this year. Dylan Gabriel has been really good. Just that offense, man. They have so many guys like Jordan James, Noah Whittington, Dylan Gabriel, Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart. They have so many guys. Penn State, if you shut down their running backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, Really, all they have other than that is probably Tyler Warren. Like, they just don't have any that threatening weapons offensively outside of, say, Tyler Warren and maybe Nick Singleton. And this Oregon defense is good as well. So I'm going to go with Oregon. And then number 17, Clemson at number 8, SMU for the ACC Championship on ABC. It was going to be Miami, but then Miami, they crashed. I'm going to go with SMU. I just like this SMU team. They've only lost one game. I know Clemson, I don't know, man. Their offense just isn't that great. And their defense isn't that bad, but like SMU, their offense is really good. They average 30-something points a game, and their only loss is to BYU in a close one. Whether they win or lose, I think they're in. If it's a close loss, I think no matter what, I think they should get in. But I think they'll guarantee a playoff spot with a win. I just can't trust Clemson. I don't know. Like, they played at home against South Carolina and couldn't even beat them. I know South Carolina's really good. Like, they played like one of the best teams over the last month. But I don't know. I mean, SMU's just that good. Like, they got a good quarterback in Kevin Jennings, a really good running back in Rashard Smith, a pretty good defense that people overlook, not really talk about SMU that much. Somehow Clemson's favored. Isn't Clemson favored in this game? Somehow Clemson's favored. But SMU's really dominated most of their opponents. Like, they've destroyed Cal, Virginia, Boston College, Pitt. Like, they beat some good teams like Duke, Louisville. They beat some good teams there. And the one game they lost to BYU was by 3 points early in the season. So I'm going to take SMU here to beat Clemson. I don't know, I just can't trust Clemson, man. Like, they're just too inconsistent offensively. Like, they beat up on these bad teams. Which SMU has beat up on some bad teams, but they've beat good teams like Louisville and Duke, while Clemson lost to Louisville, got destroyed. So I just trust SMU more. But that's my picks for conference championship week. So yeah, that's all I say. Peace.